Hey everyone, it's Tiffany again, and today I wanted to share with you guys some information regarding an assignment I just completed with one of my classes, Learning Theory. The assignment we were given was to do some research over a topic related to our coursework that we found interesting or that we wanted to learn a little bit more about. So I chose to do mine over educational assessments. And in my research, I found that we have two categories of assessments in education, the first being traditional and the second being alternative. Now, when I started to research traditional testing, I found that we use standardized testing. And for those of you that don't know what standardized testing is, it is any form of a test that's given to test takers that require them to answer questions in the same manner as everyone else. Now, when we do these testings, it gives us the opportunity to compare scores and students against one another to see if their performance is accurate. Some of the testing that you'll see with standardized testing include benchmark and state exams, as well as college readiness exams such as the SAT and the ACT. So standardized testing are designed and intended to measure what a student knows accurately on their assessment of knowledge in the content areas. So some of the advantages we see when using standardized testing are that they're reliable and they're objective. They are not prone to human bias because they're graded mechanically. They're also non-discriminatory because they ensure that content is graded and equivalent for all students. One of the best advantages that I uncovered is that since students are graded and assessed as a whole or a class, we're able to identify institutions that are in need of additional help. So along with advantages come disadvantages to using standardized testing as a means to assess student knowledge in content areas. So the first disadvantage that I uncovered was that it puts teachers in a very delicate position because it pressures teachers to teach the test instead of giving instruction and teaching students skills that could be used in the real world. And because of the pressure that they put on teachers and the pressure that they put on students to do well, it seems to cause a lot of stress in students. Specifically, there was one child who felt so stressed out about her benchmark exams that she ran away from home for a few days. And another thing that I didn't like and I considered a disadvantage was that their students aren't tested on knowledge before they do their standardized test. Therefore, they aren't compared to what they know and what they've learned rather than just the one-time event. So another type of assessment that I uncovered was alternative assessments. And when looking into alternative assessments, I found several different methods we can use. Two stood out to me the most, the first being a performance task, and the second being the usage of a student portfolio. So for performance tasks, I found that usually they consist of student centered showcases or presentations that allow students to demonstrate their skills and understanding of the content. I learned that portfolio usage consists of literacy works and tests and assignments students have done. These portfolios are usually compiled to showcase the students' strengths and weaknesses over time to see where they've progressed. And they also establish what a student wishes to pursue for future goals. I thought that these would create more of experiences that influence students to want to become lifelong learners. So some of the advantages that we find using these, besides students becoming lifelong learners, is that they have the ability and opportunity to self-reflect and self-evaluate to assess where they are in life, as well as where they are in their educational experience. Having students use performance tasks and using portfolios creates students to use critical thinking concepts in their tasks, their homework, their assignments, and day-to-day life. Because authentic and alternative assessments require more hands-on approach with teacher and student relations, it provides an opportunity for the bridge between student and teacher to connect and develop more meaningful relationships, which in turn reflects in student performance. So some of the disadvantages I uncovered with the usage of authentic assessments is that they make it difficult to assess what is relevant and what is important on a wide scale. They also seem to be extremely costly, and they consume a lot of time as well as take up a lot of time of the teachers. So students don't give the opportunity for teacher-led instruction. So to conclude with, in my research, I found that there are several methods of assessing student knowledge in content areas. I uncovered that there is traditional assessments as well as an alternative route. These consist of standardized testing and performance and portfolio usage. Both have advantages and both have disadvantages. Therefore, as future instructors, I advise you to think about these and how you would use these to your advantage rather than disadvantage. I found this assignment to be very interesting and intriguing, and it gave me a better outlook on how I want to assess my students in the future. I hope this video helped. Thanks.